Welcome to Hustle Radio, a podcast about the New York hustle mentality centered in the e-commerce industry, the official podcast of the E-Com Cooperative. Introducing your hosts, Frank Acosta and David Dayon.
All right, Frank, how we doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
We are here with episode 11 of New York Hustle Radio.
11, man. How quickly have we grown?
It just started, and now we're up to 11.
I remember doing 2. I remember saying
we're
live.
I remember doing 1. I remember doing No Name Podcast.
No Name Podcast, yeah.
20 episodes of that bad boy there.
Yeah, man. Good times, good times.
Today we have awesome guests. We have 2 guests, not 1 guest. We have cameos.
Yeah.
We have a special episode for you guys. It's going to be fun. Kansas City representing. Without further ado, let's get these guys in here. Dustin and Kris.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
How we doing, guys?
How we doing?
Love, tell it, feeling. Hey, I'm beyond.
Hey, little mama, would you like to be my son?
Nice. That's right my alley.
To Columbine, ice on my neck, cost me 10 times 3. $30,000 for a new get free. I just hit Rodeo and I spent like 10 G's. I just did a show and spent the check on my mama.
All right, guys.
So I don't know this song, but it's fire, man. What is this, man?
It's called Broccoli, bro.
I feel like David. I feel like David spends at least 30 minutes of the week finding out the song for the podcast.
Honestly, on the drive over here, I was listening to my playlist, and this song came on. I'm like, I got the song. There we go.
I love it, man.
Oh, man.
We got 2 amazing people up in the building.
Yes.
I definitely want, because I think the way you guys linked up, and you guys could tell us your story of how you guys got together and how you guys started working together. We'll start with you, Kris. Give us a little bit of your background and what is it that you do and how you're crushing it today.
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate you guys having us on. It's going to be a fun time. Started out at an e-commerce company about 2013, 14. Was in charge of buying. So I bought product for their wholesale or for their website, and then we sold it on Amazon. Quickly learned the FBA model, how we could ship items into Amazon. Got my interest. I was like, hey, I can do this on my own. Found some product around the house, listed it on Amazon FBA. I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe you could sell stuff on Amazon. Quickly did some retail arbitrage. Then I talked to a supplier, found my first product, launched it about 2015, 16. And ever since then, I've been in love with it. Amazon is so much fun. It's so much fun to do. Now I'm currently working at Solozo as an account exec, which I get to talk to sellers all day. I get to see crazy things. I get to see awesome listings. I get to learn new stuff. But I get to also help them with advertising in their Amazon PPC, which I think is really crucial now, especially with Amazon running out a whole bunch of new features. And you see a lot of people running with their advertising budget. They're taking it from Google and throwing it into Amazon. So it's a good space to be in. And then I met up with Dustin. Dustin came onto the team shortly after I joined. And now we're just, doing our own podcast, talking to sellers and hanging out with cool people like you guys.
Love it. Dustin, what's up, man? Talk to us.
Man, Kris, how'd you do that so fast? Kris glossed over a lot of stuff in his story.
I did.
Notes. Okay, I got to match that speed, Kris. So my story is I professionally, I was a tennis pro for almost 20 years. That's why I got these rackets hanging behind me. So that allowed me the flexibility. I've always had side hustles. Like Kris said, I did a bunch of retail arbitrage and did affiliate marketing and all kinds of side hustle type stuff. But then in around 2014, found the FBA model, fell in love with it, launched my first product, probably end of 2014, beginning of 2015. That product took off like a rocket. I couldn't believe it. The days, I still do this. I just refreshing my app. I'm like, oh my God, I just made 5 sales. And then refresh again. You're like, oh my gosh, it's 8 sales. I couldn't believe it. Waking up in the morning and there's money in there. You're like, oh, this is actually making money while you sleep. This is freaking cool. It is crazy. So fast forward 2 years after that, I quit my job as a tennis pro, moved back to Kansas City where I'm from because I had to raise my children in the land of Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs and the Royals. We were like expatriates. We were living in Tennessee and secretly rooted, not secretly, we were very outgoing rooting for the Chiefs and everything, but now we're back into our territory where we belong. So having a blast there. And then there are ups and downs in the business. We could talk about all kinds of things. I could talk about I love talking about mistakes and things that e-commerce is a lively journey.
100%.
But anyway, about 2 years ago, I was a part of a meetup, an Amazon meetup that Solozo happened to start. I never went to one of them, and they sent an email out looking for people to join their team. And I responded, met Kris, couldn't believe there was an Amazon SaaS company in my backyard. I thought they were all in the New Yorks and the LA.
Yeah.
And then you guys started two Amazon sellers on a microphone podcast.
Right.
Yes.
I'm seeing like too much football going on in your backgrounds. It's like I see what's going on over there. So David's kicking me because he already wants to intro.
I have a cameo. He's boarding a plane. Who was your last episode on two Amazon sellers on a microphone, guys?
Your oxygen mask. One last reminder here: if you do plan to listen to
what is up?
He's taking off right now. So,
first of all,
what's up, Yoni?
Yoni.
I don't know about you guys, but Gatita's like in another city every other day.
Every day, they're everywhere. They are everywhere.
You guys are in my soup. Gatita's everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, those guys are crazy.
You guys hear me?
Oh, yes.
We got you.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah. I'm just being told to put on airplane mode.
Yeah, you can't be talking.
No problem.
All right, we'll see you, Eitan. Thank you.
Hey, see ya.
I told him. He told me he's like, "Yo, I'm boarding a plane at 4:00." I was like, "It'll be a 60-second cameo." So he said, "All right, I'll join." And he's like, "And if they tell me to turn off my phone, I have to go." And I said, "No problem." And that's exactly what happened.
That's crazy.
That's true. That's true New York hustle right there. On the airplane, right up to the last.
On the airplane, podcasting on the airplane.
Hey, that guy's story is amazing. We had so much fun talking to him.
Oh my God, he's a beast, man. He's a beast.
The whole company's a beast.
The whole company's a beast, man. The whole company. I'm telling you, I'm looking at every event and Gatita. And I'm happy, man. I'm happy to see their growth.
Frank calls me up one day. He goes, "Dave, one day we're gonna wake up and we're gonna get an email. You've been hired by Gatita."
Yeah. They're hiring everybody, man. I'm like, one day we're gonna say David Dayon, the new whatever of Gatita. I'm like, it's crazy, man. So, but it's good to be surrounded by good people. These podcasts bring us together, and I feel like the community is growing and is becoming more connected than ever, right? The e-com community, you see more people working with each other. You see more companies collaborating, and I think this is what we've all been waiting for a long time, and it's happening quickly and is growing. Is a beast in itself.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. It's all about the community. Like when Dustin and I started, we didn't really go out of our way and talk a lot. Like we kept it all in house. And I wish we would have done it sooner. Like networking, that's where you
guys see David like texting the next cameo. Like
he's popping.
I'm calling me out. I'm trying to be all slick here.
He's trying to be all slick and like texting. And
nobody realized until you called him out.
Well,
he's a producer. He's a producer.
Bro, these are football fans, bro. They capture everything, dude. So real quick, I always say that when you have like a sign in your house or your office, like you have in the back, I would love for you to read it for us because it talks a lot about the character of the person. I'm so intrigued on what that says.
Sure. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside of you that is greater than any other obstacle. So it's just like, motivational. Like I even got some stuff over here, like focus, my exit goals when I want to sell my business. So like I'm surrounded anywhere I turn, just like mental things. And that's something I've never done before, but I find that it helps out.
Frank has pictures of lions and it says mindset.
Yeah, I got a good shirt for you. I'll have to send you a link to this awesome shirt. It's perfect.
I mean, look, I think that you become what you surround yourself with, right? There's a big saying that you look at the 5 people that are next to you, the 5 people that you talk to the most, including family members, and if you realize you that's what your life is. That's what you surround yourself with. So even having that positive mindset, the reason we created the New York Hustle Radio, the reason we went with this concept is because, when you come to New York, there's a crazy hustle. And this goes to every Amazon agency, every Amazon seller, anybody in the e-com space. You have to hustle to get things done. It's not like back in the day where you dropped a product on Amazon and it's sold like crazy. Now you're competing with hundreds and thousands of people that are doing the same thing. And the only way to stand out is to hustle and show up every day, right? So I know you guys are a product of that. I know you guys are a product of hustling. And this is why we're like, we need to do another podcast with them, just because, we love the vibes that you guys bring. They actually put music for us when we were on their podcast. This shows how much you care for it, how much you take things seriously. And guys, I'm pumped to have you guys around us.
I'll tell you, I want to touch on that real quick because I can attest it for anybody who's listening or watching. I started in 2014, and from 2014 until, Kris, when did we launch the podcast? October of 2020. Yeah. So 7 years, I was on an island where I did not interact. I didn't network. I listened to podcasts. I listened to, I took courses and stuff, but it was a one-sided deal. It wasn't me interacting. I'm telling you, from the day we started the podcast until now, just the amount of comfort I have, the amount of people, the resources I have, that like you guys, I can reach out to you at any time. I've learned from you guys. I learned from all these people. I mean, I feel like just everything changed. Sure. Like large numbers don't scare me. When I first started, you tell me like big order numbers, those would scare me. Big goals would scare, they're kind of intimidating. Nothing now. I mean, I've got this network and this community. I feel like that's amazing. And it's interesting because it was all because of that one thing of starting this podcast. And Kris and I started it specifically because we thought if we just told everybody like our stories and about our company and about Solozo and how we can help out and bring on cool people, that would just bring people to us. And it certainly has. That is exactly what it's done that. And it's given people
It's such a fact. Look, me and David, we obviously travel a lot together. And I kid you not, when people come up to us, they're like, yo, David and Frank, we're like, yeah, what's up? Like
last week, somebody goes, yo, David, where's Frank?
Yeah.
To Frank, he thinks I'm Frank and he's David.
Yeah. Somebody I was walking, somebody's like, yo, David, and I'm like, yo, what's up? Because I knew where it was coming from, so I just played along with it. It's wild. I took a small getaway with the kids right before school started. And I was in Pennsylvania, and I'm pulling out of the hotel 11:45 p.m. And somebody's like, hey, you're Frank? I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to be a creep, but are you Frank from LinkedIn? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we follow your posts, we follow your podcast. And it was like, like showing up every day, like you start to see the product, you start to see the fruit. And this is a reality, what I'm about to tell people. Who cares if you only have 2 viewers? Who cares if you only have 3, right? When you keep showing up and you keep being persistent, it pays off. Eventually, you will see that payoff. And, I always say, just show up. I don't care what it is. And I tell David this all the time, right? One of my biggest statements is just shut up and show up, right? You had a bad day on a Tuesday, next day put on your best suit and show up. And I live by that. I live by those principles.
Embrace the suck, right? Like,
So guys, for today's episode, we always ask our guests to give a little, history of who they are, where they come from. Obviously, we want to talk about Solozo a little bit, and then we try to tie in what type of hustle mentality, what we can pull out of their lifestyle, anything we can learn. And I always come up with it always kind of just goes where it goes, but I always come up with a couple of different ideas just in case, and I came up with 2 things. So the first piece was how you guys, I'm pretty sure both of you started as sellers. And I feel like that fact alone, and then moving on to going into the service industry, into the industry that you're in, especially with ads, which is, if I might say, the lifeblood of Amazon. And I feel like it, to successfully do that, and then to successfully transition from being a seller to being somebody who people look to gain knowledge and gain insights into things. That's a tremendous hustle. That was like a big opportunity that I was very excited to talk about. And I'm not ruling it out, but I'm almost hearing what I was, and I think I ended up deciding, all right, that's what we'll talk about. But what I'm kind of transitioning now into is the hustle of the podcaster, because we're just starting out. We don't have, you guys have 100+ episodes. How many episodes do you have right now? Let's just take a moment to appreciate it.
We got 145.
Damn.
What?
Damn.
Wow, man. I'm over here like 11, and
We have
like,
collectively 31, so
collectively,
that's nothing. We're at 11 here, and we did 20 of the other one, and I feel like what you just said about the hustle of just being involved with the the experts of the industry and just being on the front lines. Forget about being a service provider and being an advisor. You guys are now putting out content for people to watch and listen to and learn from. You don't for years to come as well. You don't know where this will really go, and you won't know until you know. And I feel like there usually there's like one good topic. You guys have two and more probably if we think about it, but those are two really nice ways. We got to go back to Solozo, and you got to give a little more of history and a little more of explanation into what Solozo does, how people can get in touch, and
how they can benefit from using.
But I had to jump the gun and kind of just point those two things out because the podcast world, what we're doing here is takes a lot out of you, and it's not a walk in the park. It's something. And there's a lot.
I was nervous to do the podcast at the very beginning because, like I mentioned earlier, I was like going out of your comfort zone. Yeah. And I was like, Dustin's all about doing this podcast. I'm like, damn, Dustin, I don't know if this is something we want to do. He's like, no, we got to do it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we did it, and then you kept going. Our goal was an episode a day, and a lot of the stuff you talked about in there.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
An episode a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me and David were talking about doing 2 a day, and I was having nightmares.
No, 2 a week.
2 a week, and I was having nightmares.
Yeah, no.
And you're talking about one a day.
Yeah. At the very beginning, it was hard.
My hats off to you guys. Hats off. Yeah. 100%. That's crazy. I mean, that's New York hustle at its finest.
But we're coming at it okay, what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about listings. Okay, let's talk about images. And we just, being sellers, that kind of helped out, but also being in the service provider area, we would reach out to other people that are on podcasts like, hey, let's get these on because we don't know about this topic as much. Just keep going and just, embrace it again, I guess.
For sure. Yeah. So let's talk about Solozo real quick. I know what you guys do, but I definitely want the audience to see what you guys do. What is exactly that you guys are doing, and how are you helping people in this industry?
Lock it down.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take it down. So real quick, Solozo is an ad automation and optimization platform. Yeah. So we help sellers take that burden of if you're managing your campaigns right now, if you're listening and you're like pulling your search term report out of your auto campaigns and going through it and finding converting terms and moving them to manual campaigns and then pulling those and adjusting the bids every day and calculating like should they be up or down based on whatever your goal is. Solozo automates all of that for you. And it's a really unique platform because it's the best blend that I've seen of AI, so like full automation merged with the ability to do your strategy. So if you've just listened to a course or listened to Mina Elias talk about his PPC strategies, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do my 4 auto campaigns like Mina talks about, and with each match type in each one, and then do it. Solozo, you can set that up and then automate everything so that way the keywords get transferred, the bids get adjusted, everything, and it's based on the strategy that you want to employ. So it's the best of both worlds. And then we also have there's so much more involved in our platform with like day parting and really in-depth analytics and full reporting, product level reporting, profitability, financial reports. There's so much involved in it that it can replace a lot of tools that you're using as sort of a more all-in-one suite. But the nice thing about it is if you go to Solozo and you want to use it, you get a demo with Kris or myself, and you also get an onboarding call with us where we can talk strategy with you and help you get your campaign set up.
I love it.
So that's what Kris is talking about. We talk to sellers all day long. We talk to sellers all the time, and it's a blast. I learn from them too. I mean, it's like a two-way street. I'm like, that's a really good idea, what you're doing right there. And, it helps implement it for others, or it's really good if we can let people know that, hey, this is a mistake that we've made. You can avoid this right now. Solozo's, it's a great tool. It's unique. There's a lot of unique features about it, but the ability to automate your exact strategy is probably the biggest asset of utilizing Solozo.
Yeah, I always say in any business, whether you're selling, whether you're a a service provider, the best thing you can do is delegate, right? To live a stress-free life, is to delegate as much as possible, right? And sometimes people want to deal with headaches that they shouldn't be dealing with, right? And if you really realize that you can make so much more money if you're focused on your day-to-day versus these little things that somebody else can handle for you. And I advise that all the time, right? Find a company that knows how to do something better than you, because that's what they do all day. Delegate that so that you can focus on what's important and what you need to focus on in your company. So for sure, how can people reach out to you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Selozo.com, SELOZO.com. We're on LinkedIn. You can just search our names on LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever over there. Or check out the podcast. 2 Amazon Sellers and a Microphone podcast.
So I have to ask, how did you guys come up with that name?
Yeah.
Such an awesome name.
Okay,
it might be the best podcast name I ever heard.
I don't know. New York Hustle's pretty sweet. I'll tell you. What we were talking about it. First of all, it was like, are we going to really freaking do this or what? I mean, we were just screwing around talking about names, and it was like AMZ this, and it's like we're like
PPC master that, and we're like,
yeah, we're like, this is what. And then I was driving in the car, and the Beck song came on, 2 turntables and a microphone, and it was on the radio. And I went back home and I slacked Kris. I was like, how about 2 Amazon Sellers and a microphone? I was like, that's cool. And so we stuck with it. So it was
it's awesome. It's like when you heard it, when I hear that name, I'm like, when they heard that name, they're like, that's the name we're going with.
I was like, that's perfect. That's what it is. It's both of us, and then we're talking into a microphone. It's great. It's good. But usually on almost all of our shows, it's usually 3 Amazon Sellers and a microphone, or right with you guys, it's 4. It's like we've got a lot. So, but yeah, that podcast has been so much fun. I can't believe I'm talking to some of the people I talked to. I'll talk to Kris later. I'm like, can you believe that's the guy that we listened to for years, and he was just on our podcast? That's crazy.
100%. Yeah, the exposure is crazy, especially when you drop value, right? And you guys do that very well. So salute you guys. I'm always going to be a supporter of your podcast. I want to see 500 episodes. That's where the goal is at, right? We're doing 3 a day, Kris.
So
knock them out.
So I want to ask you guys, before you guys were Amazon sellers, Kris, let's start with you. What were you doing before you were an Amazon seller? Tell us a little bit about your entrance into the Amazon world.
Yeah, so I was slinging drinks at a restaurant. I was a bartender for a while there. That was a fun little excitement journey in my life. But just hanging out at a bar, getting drinks, passing out drinks to everybody. And then I got an opportunity to work at this e-commerce company I was talking about that sold sporting goods on their website.
Okay.
I went in there as a customer service rep, not knowing anything. But in the back of my mind, like I was always throwing stuff up on eBay, like selling stuff on eBay, go to garage sales, sell stuff on eBay, marketplace on Facebook, like always doing that kind of stuff. So I got into customer service, and then, that's like the bottom of the totem pole there. But like when you're in a company there, you get your foot in the door, and when an opportunity comes in for like new positions, you want to apply for that stuff. So I quickly applied to be a buyer, and I bought all the product, and that's where I got really into it. Like, okay, now I can sell stuff on Amazon. Now I can sell stuff on eBay. And that's it. Like, that's what got me going. And I just kept going with it.
And that was back in 2015, correct?
Yeah, 2015, 16. Yeah. And then got let go of that company. Didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, am I going to go to Amazon? I want to find somewhere to work with. And then I went to that local meetup here in Kansas City with Selozo. And it's like, well, I could just join here. I could just do this, and quickly came on. It was awesome.
Yeah, we have Lisa.
Lisa's great.
She's another rock star.
What's up?
I want to go back to one of her other lines.
I know. Lisa's always dropping
bombs.
She's always dropping bombs. So this is one of her earlier comments. She was like, it's like what they say. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find another room.
That's right.
So true. Surround yourself by smarter people is the way to excel in life. But Lisa, shout out to you, man. Lisa stays dropping bombs, bro.
100%.
She was one of our great guests on our podcast, and she was here sharing that she was also part of the bartending. Right?
I keep hearing that correlation of the the service industry, the food service industry, and Amazon. And I forgot who was telling me about it.
I'm also a bartender too. In my personal bar, every time I go to drink with it, all right, I only do it for myself. Yeah. 100%.
You can't compare it though, because the hustle life in the restaurant
life, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's hustle.
Let's not even talk about restaurants, man.
Gives me anxiety, man. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta give a shout out to Lisa also and Francois over at Noviland, because he's man. And so I just had go live my first shipment from that I used Noviland for. Unbelievable experience. Wow. So
okay. Shout out to Noviland.
Yeah. Great people.
Everything was great about that. So I'm a believer. I'm using Noviland now to source my next product, and I'm super pumped about it. So shout out to Lisa and Francois over there. They're doing a great job. That company's awesome.
For sure. So you guys were 2 Amazon sellers. Now you're still selling, of course, right? Mm-hmm. There was somebody in one of the viewers, and he was asking for you to. What was one of your failures when you were selling?
How much time you got? Is this a 6-hour podcast?
For sure. I always say that I'm a product of failure, right? Is the reality. And so look, Lisa's always showing love. Shout out to Lisa, man. Shout out to what they're doing over there.
Hey, thanks for the good product, Lisa. It wasn't a plug. It was an honest 5-star review.
Good people, good company, right? So just real quick, just one failure when you were selling on Amazon that you wish you would have learned when you started.
Okay, I'll go. Then Kris can go if you want to give one. My failure to when I started, my first product was a hero home run, and it was just growth. So I did very little like testing new things, staying on top of like new ways that I could compete. Yeah. And I mean, that lasted a long time. It lasted long enough for me to quit my job and put all my eggs into this Amazon basket and move halfway across the country. And a few years after I moved, the rug got pulled out from under me, where I was almost overnight inundated with competitors who were doing better than me, more reviews than me. And I had not built up my product line solid enough to where if that one product went down, that my other products were going to keep the ship afloat. And it was just, I don't know what the word is. I was just too comfortable with constant growth with limited effort. That changed really quick right around like 2017, 2018. It became much tougher. And I had to kind of like go back like 5 steps to get going again. So that's changed now. I won't make that mistake anymore because I'm constantly involved in what's going on. And so I feel like it all ties back into that. But I got some good stories from that downtime. For sure. There's hustles that get involved when things go south. You got to hustle in a different way.
Yeah, you in order to stand up, you have to fall, right? No, it's just a reality. You have to. There's no like speed strategy or like getting taking shortcuts in life. You just got to walk. You got to walk and deal with the things that come up. So there goes David again with his dropping bombs with people over here. Who we got? I'm part of the podcast and I have no idea who we're bringing into these.
Oh gosh.
Who's next?
Might as well hop on and say hi, right?
How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Part of the cameos are the spontaneous cameos, guys.
Also. I love it. I love it.
David was crazy.
Was it the good plug that the good Noviland plug that brought you in? Yes.
It was just the DM from David. Look, I'm always tuning into this show, you guys. This Ryan
awesome.
Show, 2 Amazon sellers, like these are all 3 of my absolute favorites. I never miss an episode.
Let me tell you something, David. I co-host this with David, and I'm even scared sometimes. I don't even know what the hell is going to happen. I have no idea what he's doing.
But that's part of it, Frank. You're not supposed to know what's happening.
I hear that.
That's how Francois feels.
He introduced me to people on podcasts. Like, hey, Frank, this is I'm like, who the hell is this? But I trust David's judgment. David vets everybody. David always surrounded by good people. So, man. Lisa, what's up?
Nothing, man. Just out here hustling. Actually, just got over COVID, so back in the office. Loving not being in my apartment anymore. Just moving around the office, growing the team. Big things coming, man. Big things coming.
I hear you.
That's exciting. Awesome. I'm telling you, I got to plug again because now that you're on here, that was the best supplier experience, freight forwarding supplier inspection experience I've ever had, and I've had a lot of them. And I just put in my new request for quote just went in, so
nice.
I'm excited to get this new product going. So
nice.
You guys got it rock.
It's really awesome, and that's not even like my part of the business, man. That's all Francois and Jack and everybody. But it's really cool what we're doing over here, for sure.
Nice.
I think it's awesome also that we all know each other professionally, and that you guys are using Noviland. Like that just shows how what you were saying before, Dustin, about the people you're meeting and the access you have, and you're taking advantage of it, which is also just adding to everything. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining.
For sure.
When we get back.
Thank you for bringing me on, guys.
Anytime. All right, David. Who's next? Jason? Freddy Krueger? Like who?
Who you got? Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Right, yeah. Like who's next?
We still have one more cameo, and it's definitely worthwhile. So we still gotta see if he's joining. Let me check now.
Look, now you gotta see if he's joining, huh? So guys, when did Solozo start?
2017.
Yeah.
Got it. And so talk to me about the process. Is it something, because the process is the most important thing when you're joining it, when you want to work with a company? Like how does it even start? Like if I wanted to reach out, how quickly would I be put into your software? Like how does it work?
Yeah, good question. And that's what I think is important about the onboarding call and the demo call. We get sellers all day, all different types, big sellers, small sellers, just starting out. And so when they talk to Dustin and I, the first thing we do is look at their listing to even make sure it's ready for advertising. Like if you don't have a good listing, you're done. Like if you have one image and a crappy title and 2 bullet points, we're going to tell you, go get that figured out first and then come back to us. We could easily sign you up, but then when you have a bad experience and it doesn't work, you're going to blame Solozo. So we vet everybody that comes through. If they meet the criteria, they got good listings, and they sell and all that kind of stuff, and they know PPC, typical questions, we'll sign them up for a free trial. And then during that trial, they're going to talk to Dustin or I, one of us, and we're going to show them how to get their campaign structure set up. It's amazing.
How long is a free trial?
14 days.
Yep.
And in 14 days, they see traction?
Probably more than they saw earlier, because they're going to be able to get the right setup. We see campaign structures all over the place, different types of match types over here and single keywords and everything jumbled up.
I love the free trial thing because it's like you're putting your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah.
But let us show you that this really works.
And we work with everybody. So like Canada, if someone needs 21 days, we're going to give them 21 days. So
yeah, and it's true. And we work with them. I mean, Kris, we do multiple calls, people during that trial period. Did I lose you guys for a second there?
No.
I thought I lost you. Okay. Anyway, we do multiple during that trial period. We'll do multiple calls. And the nice thing is our support team will do a full audit of your campaigns. So you're going to be taken care of. Like after we onboard you and we talk about strategies and stuff, our support team, you can tell them, hey, here's our goals. They will audit your campaigns and say, to achieve your goals, you need to make these changes to your campaigns based on the goals that you're talking about. So it's a no-brainer for a 14-day free trial. I mean, you could get all that and cancel, but you're not going to want to afterwards once you see the platform and everything. But yeah, you're taken care of the whole way, which is great.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that's what's most important to an Amazon seller, right? Because people are very skeptical. They don't want to share their data. They don't want people going into and it's because of these trusted sources that things like this are able to be done. So, I definitely have somebody in mind that I want to refer. I think the best way to establish big relationships is bringing business to each other, right? And I pride myself in that. I always tell people that the people that I network with, we need to be bringing business to each other. Because if not, either we're bringing business to each other or we're learning from each other, right? Because if it's not one of those two, we're wasting time. So, I definitely want to tighten the relationship and definitely have you guys on board with more stuff that we're doing,
Oh,
sure.
We'd love that. That's great. Yeah.
So, David, real quick, I want to touch a little bit on an event that we just had.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that as well. And then I did confirm with our cameo. I'm going to give you guys a hint, okay? You might just guess right away, but he's from the same city you guys
Kansas
are from.
City?
Yeah, Kansas City.
Come on, man. There's only one option.
No, they don't know. How do they know? Maybe they don't know.
No, I know.
I know you know.
I already
know
know.
you know.
My boy's
But
coming.
I know.
I think I know who it is.
Beard. He's scratching his beard.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
The big boy, man. Good time. Yeah, good time. Let's touch whenever he gets here. He can just show up.
Yeah, he'll just show up. So Frank is referencing Seller's Dinner, which was produced by the Ecom Cooperative. The Ecom Cooperative is a free community, actually the technically affiliate of this podcast.
Correct.
This is the Ecom Cooperative podcast, technically.
Sure.
And basically, we had an event. It was right after the ASGTG event last week on Wednesday, made by Ed Rosenberg, who does a great job and brings together a great event.
Shout out to Ed Rosenberg.
Shout out to Ed Rosenberg.
He crushed it like he always does.
There was about 800 sellers.
And he does it with class.
The food was amazing.
Yeah, the vibes.
The location was amazing. The speakers were amazing. Mina was a speaker, and Tim and Emma and all the good guys. And right after we had an after party, and it was a simple idea to pretty much bring together a handful of sellers as well as a handful of service providers. Some of that are in the cooperative or about to be in the cooperative, and we made it happen. We got about 100 people together. We rented out 2 floors of a restaurant. We had a mixologist come down, and we had a blast. The idea was to eat good food, drink good drinks, and just maybe do some business. Food was eaten, drinks were drank, and business was had.
Yeah, I think it was more.
I love it.
I think one of the main things that we wanted to have something more, a little more unique, a little bit more intimate. Yeah. And we did a restaurant. We, as you guys can see, me and David do a lot of dinners. We it's part of our process. It's part of our business. Is what we do, right? We built that very strongly, right? And one day me and David were talking. We're like, listen, we want to do events. She's like, Seller's Dinner, right? Came up with it. We were actually at a restaurant when we decided that, so we turned it into a thing. And it was a couple of weeks ago. But most importantly, it got packed. More people than we expected showed up, and we're proud to say. Can I say what's happening? I won't get into too much detail, but can I officially say that there's a Seller's Dinner 2 coming up?
Yeah, it's public information. I feel like you're always asking me if you could say.
I'm just saying because I don't know who you told, who you had a meeting with.
The event was very successful. Like I said, business was made, and we're basically working on Seller's Dinner number 2. It's going to be in Miami. We can even say the date, Frank, because we pretty much locked it in already.
Yeah, we locked it in already. So we're going to be in
1st.
Miami November 1st. We have a Seller's Dinner event
Seller's Dinner number 2.
Number 2.
It's going to be.
Chris, we're going to Florida. We're going to Florida.
I love it.
This is a testament for you guys, though. I mean, you're building a community, and people are showing up, and you're like, we don't know who's watching. There's other people coming, man.
Yeah,
so you guys are building the community.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It's so crazy. I remember I was talking to David, and we're like, we're going to do this. And then it was on. I'm making up a date, but let's say Monday we're like, let's do this, and Tuesday we're like, we don't know how the hell we're gonna do this. Wednesday it was all booked, right? And it was like it's just how things happen, right? And I'm
you
excited.
said, Frank, just show up.
Just show up. So now we're going to Miami. I don't want to talk too further. The goal is to hit up a few other places, but yeah, man, Seller's Dinner. We'd love to have you guys there, man. Any excuse to go to Miami, you just take it.
Yes,
that's a rule in the book. Right? Is any reason to go to Miami, just go.
There will also be a conference there that week, an Amazon conference, so that'll just be two in one.
Perfect.
Another reason to go, and it's Miami. That's the third reason to go. And it'll be a great restaurant.
It's the main reason to go.
Yeah.
Of course, we pride ourselves in top notch, the best food, the best drinks, and good times, man. And I definitely want you guys to come over.
Keep our eye out for that one.
Oh yeah. I'm already excited.
Yeah.
We need to travel more. That's something we don't do enough of. We've talked about that before. We didn't travel enough this year. That's something we want to do more next year, obviously, and get back into the group and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So good, guys. Good showing. Andrew.
Yeah. I think
he's probably busy, man. The guy's a hustler.
Closing deals.
The guy's a hustler.
Man is closing deals.
But the man ain't Andrew. Shout out to Andrew, good friend of
Yes.
ours. It would have been great to have him here, but guess what? Maybe we'll show up to Kansas City and we'll all be eating together.
Oh, shit.
How about that one, right?
There you go.
Oh! As we're ready to give up
He's
on
probably
it.
like, Frank, stop talking smack. I'm here.
What up,
My
Andrew?
man.
Where's he at? There he is.
What up, man?
Look, this is Kansas City in all his glory right there. Look,
There he is.
Hey, what's up?
he's probably on the He's probably on the go right now.
Yeah, he's probably hustling, doing something.
Always hustling. Always hustling. Shout out to
What's
Andrew.
up, everybody? What up?
Yeah, what's going on,
What's
man?
up, man?
Oh,
Archaeology in the building.
love it. It's always good to see Kansas City people.
I was trying to be like
Yeah.
Frank. I was trying to be like Frank and call from my car.
Yeah.
I've done 2 podcasts from my car. Listen,
I never let him live it down.
listen. When you're working, you gotta work, man. You gotta hustle. You run into your car, do the podcast, run back out, and do what you continue doing. That's exactly what Andrew's doing. I taught well. I'm loving it.
All right, awesome, guys.
Andrew's freezing a little bit, but shout out to Kansas City.
Yeah, Andrew, what's up, man?
You guys are lucky I don't bring a third New Yorker because it's like 3-on-2 right now. I'm always on a good competitive vibe, right? The good competition side. Shout out to Kansas City, and now we have more of a reason to go out there. We're making a lot of friends out there.
100%. We've been saying we got to head out there soon.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be out there soon. Salozo, Dustin, Kris, thank
Oh,
you so much for showing up
that's
to
right,
our
we lost
podcast.
Andrew. We'll bring back Lisa.
Take
and
care, everyone.
We will just play some music. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
For your time.
You guys are the best.
Thanks, y'all.
What you
No
know
about
about
rolling.
Rolling down in the deep.
You can call that mental freeze when these people